Former President Donald Trump is in the battleground state of Georgia tonight after meeting with the Economic Club of Chicago earlier today. Georgia kicked off early voting today with turnout already breaking records from last cycle. We're going to have a lot on that tonight. Later tonight, Trump will participate in a town hall, a take two after the former president's Q&A near Philadelphia last night turned into a listening party.
Go and vote. Let me hear that music, please.
The songs played for more than 30 minutes after the event was paused for medical emergencies. Trump did not resume taking questions. Meanwhile, Vice President Kamala Harris is in Detroit. She stopped by an art gallery and is sitting down for an interview with radio host Charlamagne the God. It is the beginning of a busy week campaigning. Tomorrow, she sits down with Fox News for an extended interview. We're going to start tonight with Nikole Killion in Atlanta and Ed O'Keefe in Detroit. Good to see both of you out on the campaign trail. Nikole, you are in one of the most important states this cycle. Early voting just started today, already smashing 2022 records. What are you seeing on the ground there?
Yeah, well, we're seeing what we have seen over the past several years, having been down here during those midterms where we did see that record turnout. It really comes as no surprise that already on this first day of early voting, they have surpassed some of those daily records with well over 200,000 people casting their ballots. And of course, early voting here will stretch almost to Election Day. So we're talking a roughly two and a half week period that people will have here in the Peach State to get out and vote. But probably what was most interesting about what happened when we first got here on the ground, and as you know, Nancy, these types of things don't happen very often when you meet voters, but we coincidentally happened to meet two voters, one who voted for Vice President Kamala Harris, the other who voted for former President Donald Trump. They just happened to be standing in line together and spoke to us about their decisions. So you have a difference of opinion.
Yeah, but that's okay. I mean, we're not fighting each other, but we both listened, and yeah, it was just odd that it happened to get one of each at the same time. Yeah. I don't dislike him because he chose Kamala, but that's the whole idea behind the American voting system.
So again, one of them decided to support Vice President Harris, basically telling me that democracy was top of mind for him in the sense that he felt if the former president is reelected, that it would ultimately lead to chaos in this country. But then the other gentleman you heard from there countered, who's supporting former president, saying, well, he thinks that there will be chaos if Vice President Harris is elected. And the big issue for him was strictly immigration and the border. So as you heard there, even though they had differences of opinion, they were quite civil about it. And while they didn't know each other heading into the polls, it sounded like they could continue their discussion after voting today, so much so, maybe they'll sit down and have a beer later.
Well, it is nice to see that they can disagree agreeably. Ed, you're in another critical state, Michigan. The vice president focusing in particular there on shoring up support among black men. How exactly is she doing that? Is she making any inroads?
Nancy, good to be with you from Motor City. She's here this afternoon, having already stopped by a conversation with business owners and now sitting for an interview with Charlamagne the God, as you mentioned, the radio and talk show host. A critical exchange, potentially, because he's somebody who has been sort of on her side and critical of her in the past. And in this case, she's clearly trying to win over his support and that of his listeners who listen across the country. This comes as there is, if anything, at least more attention on ensuring that she's getting the support needed from black voters overall and black men in particular to turn out in the numbers they would have turned out 4 years ago for President Biden. While she enjoys roughly 87% overall support from black voters nationwide, which is on par with 4 years ago, if you look at the black gender gap, the number amongst black men is down. And you think to yourself, well, why does that matter? Well, it matters here in Detroit. It matters in Philadelphia. It matters in Milwaukee. It matters in metro and suburban Atlanta as well, because voters in those battleground states are black, are Latino, are white, but especially in these big cities in the Midwest, they can help shore up Democratic support. So you're seeing this extra attention put on them here today and for a few other days in Wisconsin and Pennsylvania tomorrow. We talked with an imam earlier today from Detroit, Nikole Sadiq, who's someone we've spoken to before, that sort of helps us track black support for Harris here in Michigan. And we asked him to give us a sense why it is he thinks, or no, what we asked him is, what is it he thinks the vice president needs to be doing in order to shore up that support? Listen to this interesting answer. So, I mean, if she called or someone on her team called and said, what do I have to do to win Detroit? You would tell her,
keep pushing back on the misbehavior of Netanyahu. He is almost trying to ruin American politics, and his political proxies here, that sanctify his regime at all costs. I mean, that's just un-American. It's not at the interest of a robust American democracy to give people faith in our electoral process, and even to benefit the American plurality. So they have to push against him.
The imam's answer is telling, Nancy, because of course we've focused so much in the last year on Muslim American and Arab American support for President Biden, now Vice President Harris, in the wake of what's going on in the Middle East, because they make up such a sizable percentage of voters here in the Metro Detroit and Dearborn area, that he brought that up just hours after it was reported that the Biden administration is now telling Israel, you have 30 days to boost humanitarian aid to Gaza or you will see U.S. support held back. Immediately here in this battleground state where that issues matter more than any other, he was hearing it and he was saying, you need to be doing more of that, Madam Vice President, if you expect to find the votes you need.
Right. Sounds like the White House is getting that message. Nikole, I want to turn to Trump's impromptu music session last night. Let's take a listen to some of it and then talk about it.
Put on Pavarotti singing Ave Maria. Nice and loud. Turn it up louder. We want a little action here. Turn it up louder.
So it wasn't just Pavarotti, it was James Brown, it was Guns N' Roses. Has the campaign explained yet exactly why Trump decided to stand on that stage and play music for his supporters for 40 minutes?
Yeah, I mean, there has been no formal statement from the campaign, but a source tells us that, the former president was basically trying to be sensitive to the situation because there were 2 medical emergencies that occurred, which is part of why this event was cut short or why that Q&A got interrupted. At least one person fainted. Took a while for a response to occur. And, this is something that we have seen at some of the former president's events, not only indoor events, but even some outdoor where, there are these medical emergencies because you have people who have been lining up for hours waiting. And unfortunately, these types of situations do happen. But beyond that, we haven't gotten really any further detail. What we can tell you is that the attendees who were at that event last night didn't seem particularly bothered or disturbed by what happened. But certainly it's something that the Harris campaign is seizing on, saying that the former president looked lost and confused. And even the vice president herself tweeting out earlier today, she hopes that he's okay.
Yep, she's got more rallies in the next 24 hours, and she'll probably make mention of that again. Nikole, Killion, and Ed O'Keefe, thank you both so much.